I'm Reginald Bullock, aka Reggie B, and I want to share my city with you. I am from Philadelphia, and I am a fan of all types of sports teams and food, but I come from Richard Allen Projects, 12th and Poplar. So let's take a walk and learn something about Reggie B in Philly.
Hello, I'm Reginald Bullock, and I'm in Philadelphia. This is where I grew up, 703 A. Jessup Place, 12th and Poplar. So on this side was 12P. It was a gang called 12P, 12th and Poplar. On that side, it was Wallace Street. And right about behind where this white car is was a dumpster. And the bullets used to bounce off the dumpster because they were shooting and fighting every day. And right there is where I lived. Now, it doesn't look like that. It didn't look like that back in the day. It was a projects, row home type. And I lived 703 A. Jessup Place. So I come back here because you should never forget where you came from. You never forget where you came from because you never know when you have to pull out those tools that you learned from growing up, learning how to make do, learning how to keep everything level, and also reminding yourself what's important and what's not. Anyway, I'm Reggie B saying, get out there and become the best version of yourself. Part of the journey for becoming the best version of yourself is remembering where you came from. Spring Garden Elementary School is where I started at 6 years old in the first grade. I remember they used to do corporal punishment. Day one, I got spanked with a ruler from the teacher because I was acting up. However, it's not where you start, it's where you end up. So put the work in to become the best version of yourself so that you can end up beyond the circumstances where you started. This is North Philly, the hood, Richard Allen Projects.
And then in 1968, my mother moved us to 1240 East Price Street, Philadelphia, PA 19138, Germantown. And eventually I went to Ada H.H. Lewis Middle School and met so many cool people. Some of you may have heard of Pieces of a Dream. Yes, I knew them, know them, hung out with them. And there are other many success stories. Grover Washington Jr. supported so many people. And of course, the sounds of Philadelphia and the musicians and artists of Philadelphia, Mount Airy Cultural Center, etc. Philadelphia, it just imparted so much on me with music, WDAS FM. And eventually I became a DJ. A DJ. This is a picture of my first boom box. And this is one of my first parties I've ever done. And it just grew from there. And of course, eventually I went to high school downtown, Parkway Gamma, for those of you who are Parkway alums. This is where we played pool and shot pinball. And this is 39th and Walnut, Parkway Gamma, our unit head. And this is just another neighborhood, a spot in the hood that I used to hang out. So take a walk with me along the East River Drive as we go to the Belmont Plateau.
This is a different post. I'm Coach Reggie B in my hometown, Philadelphia, at the Plateau, where everybody goes, guys out front and girls doing likewise. So I'm just chilling. Every now and then, you gotta take a break. You gotta breathe. You gotta reset. Do a mindset reset. And so I come to Philadelphia a lot because this is where I'm from, and this is how I get my energy. Where do you get your energy from? Some of us get our energy from each other. Some of us get our energy from Mother Nature. And make sure wherever you get your energy from is good energy. So often I'll come out here and relax. I have DJ'd out here at the Plateau. It's really called the Belmont Plateau, but we call it the Plateau. I played baseball there. We've had cookouts out there, playhouse in the park. So, you know, as a leader, you also have to just think about yourself, your mental health, your self-awareness. You gotta focus. You gotta focus. Sometimes the best way to focus is to just breathe. So I'm out here doing just that. I'm breathing. I'm Coach Reggie B saying, yo.
So many of you heard of the Philadelphia Eagles, and of course you know about our other sports teams. But it all started at Connie Mack Stadium, actually Fairmount Park. But this is Connie Mack Stadium in North Philly. And who played there? Negro League baseball players, the Philadelphia Stars. Remember that. Never forget that, where it came from. North Philadelphia. And for those of you who are from North Philly, that's Lehigh Avenue. That's 25th and Lehigh. You know the deal. This is a spot on the street.
I'm here on Midville Avenue in Philadelphia. This is where I really had my first business. My business were windows. These houses that you see around here were my clients. And then the houses behind me, these diamond glass windows, I had this whole block, all the way down the block of diamond glass windows. And I had a 16-foot ladder. I think I started around age 13 or so, and got my hustle on. So when I say it's all about the hustle, trust me, I get it honestly. My Uncle Willie taught me how to wash windows. My cousin Eugene followed up on me, and the clients made sure I kept the standard. This was also a way to get me out of the hood, because I was in the projects, Richard Allen projects. And these houses here are owned by some very wealthy people. A lot of them are professors and doctors and lawyers and just different professions. And so they helped me to see beyond my current environment. And that's how I was able to get my hustle on. And that was the beginning of me no longer being a product of where I came from. I'm Coach Reggie.
Christ-like Pleasant Green Faith Baptist Church in North Philly. You know, this is an amateur video that I'm doing. It's just me being me, and I hope you appreciate it. And for those of you who are from Philadelphia, I'm sure you will see some things that are very familiar and that you also know exactly where it is. This is Wanamaker's. Of course, you see this on the Monopoly set. There are masons all over Philly. It helped to build many buildings and areas throughout this country. Prince Hall Masons as well. So take a look and put your diamond in the sky and see if you know where this is.
And I'm going to tell you right now, achievement in every field of human endeavor is doable. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, focus on what are you achieving. When I say that, I mean, are you putting the work in? Are you disciplined? Are you focused? Are you diligent? Are you intentional? All of these things help you to achieve. So achievement in every field of human endeavor is a lot better than just chilling, relaxing, spending all day maxing, and doing nothing. Because at the end of the day, what were you here for? When your time is up, you want to have left something behind. You want to be remembered by your achievements. You can list a whole bunch of notable achieving people and all the things that they've done that we now benefit from. So it's your responsibility to achieve, because it's not for you. It's for those people who come after you. I'm Coach Reggie B saying, yo.
So by now you can tell this is real amateur work from me sitting in my office putting this together. But if you are from Philadelphia, I'm sure you could appreciate some elements that you're seeing. This is 9th Street. This is the market, the outdoor market on 9th Street. You can buy anything there. I don't care what it is, whether it's flying, crawling, walking, or if it was grown, you name it. This is the spot. For those of you who are from Philly, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're not from Philly, I invite you to come visit our city, visit our town, and go to 9th Street, you know, and see what's down there. It'll take you past 9th and Washington into South Philadelphia. Some of you have heard of South Street. If you stay on 9th Street, you'll end up on South Street. However, before you get there are 2 famous cheesesteak spots that everybody seems to talk about. And I think I'm going to talk about them right now, since I'm down there in South Philly, where a lot of it began. There it is. Did you catch that? Did you catch Pat's and Gino's? So I'm going to share some things with you, because you can't just go to Philly without talking about cheesesteaks. And I've talked about cheesesteaks a lot, so I'm looking at some of my old videos and bringing some clips into it just to bring it back right here for you cheesesteak lovers. Enjoy this bit.
So in life, people are always comparing themselves to someone else, and you're probably going to fall short. And then once you start comparing yourself, now you're focused on other people instead of yourself. For instance, in Philadelphia, everybody knows about cheesesteaks, but they like to compare cheesesteaks. So what cheesesteak is the best? Well, it depends on you, whatever you like. So what best version of you is the best? It depends on you, whatever you like. In other words, it's not about what everybody else wants. It's not about what everybody else likes. It's what you like. So whatever cheesesteak you like, so why compare? Why not taste, try everything that you want to taste and try? Similar to cheesesteaks. If you want to try a job, if you want to try a profession, you want to try sports, you want to try a house, you want to try a neighborhood, you want to try a city, a state, or another country, try it. You'll never know what your best version of you are unless you try it. So, I say, get out there and try. So now, we're at Chew and Worcester. Chew and Worcester is Germantown. What we have? Explorer's Den. So I told you about choice. In life, you have plenty of choices. You can choose to do something, choose not to. You can choose to be good, you can choose to be bad. You can choose to listen, you can choose not to listen. One of the most powerful powers is the power of choice. And I put that in my book, Becoming the Best Version of Yourself. So I choose Explorer's Den because this is where the cheesesteaks are that I like. I know a lot of you go to Pat's and Gino's, but Explorer's Den is where I go. Delisandro's is another place that people go, but I choose this one. And that's how you eat a cheesesteak, because it could be dripping. And if it's dripping, it'll get all over you. But this is a true Philadelphia cheesesteak from Explorer's Den. I'm Coach Reggie B saying, make the right choices and become the best version of yourself.
You know, Reggie, I'm talking to myself. You're making me hungry with those cheesesteaks. That's the Philadelphia pretzel fact. That's the pretzel factory. So when I take people to Philly or when I play tour guide in Philadelphia, there are three things that I want them to eat. Of course, Philadelphia cheesesteak, a pretzel, and water ice. You got to say it right, water ice, water ice. This is just a typical place in Philadelphia. Statue downtown, Rocky statue. This is a carpentry statue, City Hall. So when you go to Philly, don't sit under the apple tree, but anybody else, but we have our own apple tree. This is the giant clothespin. It's a landmark. For those of you from Philly, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody else knows about the love, but the landmark of the clothespin is a big deal. All right, here we go, Reggie.
Hello, I'm Coach Reggie B. And the point that I want to make right now is it's all about the energy. What is energy? They say matter cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. Here on Earth, if you look at the source of all energy, it comes from the sun. But then it's transferred. So what's your energy? Do you have positive energy? Do you have negative energy? Do you have calm energy? Do you have consistent energy? Do you allow someone else's energy to impact your energy? Do you allow your energy to impact someone else's? You have control over all of this, but a lot of times you don't know that. There's IQ, EQ, and PQ, emotional intelligence. A lot of people are mature emotionally, and some are immature emotionally. It depends on your energy. You get to control that. At work, when you show up in the office, energy transfers to you, and you transfer energy out. What's the energy that you want to transfer, and what's the energy you want to be transferred to you? At home, with your children, with your friends, with your spouse. What types of energy is being transmitted, transferred? Remember, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. Now, let's take this to the business side. In business, there are a lot of people in leadership positions. You always hear me say, 80% of them are not even leaders, but they're in leadership positions. So even though they're not leaders, they're still transferring energy. So when leaders, real leaders transfer energy, it's all about the people they're transferring that energy to, and they're conscious. They are conscious about the energy they're transferring to the people so that they can inspire them to achieve something positive out of that relationship and productivity in the business world. So those who are emotionally immature will still transfer energy, but they're transferring emotionally immature energy in the business world, and then they're wondering why they're not being successful. And they put the blame on everybody else. Well, they're the ones that transferred all that energy to everybody else, and then they're blaming everybody else for not producing, for not achieving, for not realizing the goals, the objectives, and the strategy of the company. Well, you're in that leadership position, and you've transferred the energy to those people, and therefore the result of your energy is the results of what you're looking at. And so the failure or the success of the company is a direct result of your energy being transferred. I come to the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, and here I am at the steps of the art museum because I draw energy in my own city. I draw energy from achieving. I draw energy from reminiscing of what's going on in Philadelphia. So I draw that energy. So when I come to Philadelphia, what's being transferred to me? I'll tell you what's being transferred to me. Since 1962, March 18th, this right here has been the source of my energy. Since the earth was born, the sun has been the source of its energy. Sometimes you got to go back to the source and get your energy. Often you have to take care of the source to continue to receive the energy. In the business world, where do you go for your energy? What's the source of your energy? Because when it's transferred, and it's transferred right, and it's good energy, you get to see the results, and you can do like I'm doing right now. You can just look around and smile. I'm Coach Reggie B saying, guard your energy, control your energy, and use the most powerful power you have. The power of choice. Bullock, and I'm home. I'm in my hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, standing in front of Independence Hall. And today is Memorial Day. What is Memorial Day for? I try not to say Happy Memorial Day because it is a day of remembrance. Remembering those fallen heroes who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. In the military, we say all have given some, but some have given all. So for those soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marine, Air Force Reserve, Army Reserve, Coast Guard, Air National Guard, Army National Guard, Tuskegee Airmen, and of course the Buffalo Soldiers who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for us to have our freedom, that's what Memorial Day is for. And not to mention those who are missing in action, and of course the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. Those members of our armed forces paid the ultimate sacrifice. And so we are to remember them. And may we never forget them. And including their family, their communities, their friends who have dearly lost those loved ones. We remember them as well. I am Lieutenant Colonel Reginald L. Bullock, retired, here in my hometown in front of Independence Hall, just remembering all of those fallen heroes who, if it were not for them, I would not be standing here. You know, I get emotional sometimes when I come home because I remember where I started from, the Richard Allen Projects. And here I am now in a position that I never would have thought of once upon a time when I was standing here in the 70s. So for all of those who went before us, thank you. Thank you. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Reginald L. Bullock saying, may we never forget.
Wow, this has been a fun amateur video. This is art and Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. Let's do it. Yes, I am a DJ. I won a contest breakdancing and I went to Paris. If you didn't know, now you know the other side of me. Thank you, Philadelphia. y'all had fun watching. I had fun making this amateur video. Become the best version of yourself. I'm Reggie B.